Finally.
Wow. Okay.
Don't touch anything.
I will not. I promise. I will not.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Yes. Anything.
Welcome, Catherine.
Okay. All right. Gotta step back.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, guys. Wonderful to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2018 with some fun.
No.
Happy New Year. Okay, so we're about 3 minutes ahead of schedule, but I think we're okay, and people can catch up.
I think we're more than okay. I think we're really good.
Okay, awesome. So let's begin. First of all, Happy New Year to everyone watching, and to you, Dr. Craig and Alina Frank. Happy New Year. Welcome, welcome.
Great to be here.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
I know. What a great. This is a great way to start the year. We should do this every year. We'll see you in 365
Yeah,
days.
Yes, exactly.
We like it. We like it. We love that idea.
Yeah.
So we wanted to also welcome everyone joining us today on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2018. It's the first day of the new year. It's a clean slate for everyone. 365 options to have do-overs and redo your life, basically. So we want to say welcome to that and to the new year. I am Jennifer Isley, co-owner of a company called Tapping for Me. And I'm co-hosting today with, again, Dr. Craig and Alina Frank. And I'm also co-hosting with Samy Yuseef.
I can introduce myself, right?
No, you can, yeah.
Oh, I'm the other co-hosting, Samy Yuseef. Hi. Happy New Year, everyone.
Whoa. Hey. Good to see you.
Okay.
So the purpose for today, why we invited these two to join us, is because in the world of EFT, these two have made huge strides and huge contributions to the world of EFT. If you were following Sammy's post and my post and even their posts, you see how extensive their work is in the EFT world. And Samy has done a lot of work in the Arab world or the Middle East world and in countries over there. He's from Egypt originally. And there is a strong following there and a huge need for EFT tapping, of course, worldwide. But knowing your awesome contributions to it, he thought, hey, if we can introduce the two of you to the Arab world and shed some light on EFT through you two, that would just benefit everyone and be a win-win. Yeah. So that's the purpose of us inviting you and having this interview today with us. And again, we are so blessed and thank you.
I love that you're doing this, Samy. I mean, it's, there are places in the world where EFTs and this kind of work is more well known, and United States, UK, Canada, Australia, but being able to reach places that have lived through trauma and stress and there's so much happening. So thank you so much for your vision and for what you're doing. It's much appreciated.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you guys, and it was still honor to have you. So I hope you see us because your cam is freezed. I don't know what's going on, but we're still there working. Hello.
This is a delay.
Yes, we're here.
Okay, we're here. We're waiting for you to translate. So are you going to say hello to everybody in Arabic?
السلام عليكم. ازيكم يا شباب؟ وحشتونا. فرحانين ان انتم معانا ومعانا دكتور كريغ وينر ومس ألينا فرانك his partner and ورفيقته وشريكته في العمل. سعداء بوجودكم معانا، وإن شاء الله يكون يوم سعيد، أول سنة جديدة علينا وأول يوم في السنة، وبإذن الله نكون على طول في خير وبركة وتقدم. يلا نبتدي إن شاء الله الشو بتاعنا وهنبتدي نتكلم مع بعض. So Dr. Craig, Miss Alina, I will start to my questions and I hope you will like it, guys. So
and then you'll translate in Arabic.
Yeah, and I will translate in Arabic.
And we're also able to answer any questions that the audience has if they want to post it.
Yeah, we will make this in the last maybe 10 minutes. If anyone has a question, they will send it to us in the comments. I will read it. I will translate it into English if it's in Arabic, and you can answer, and I will do. So,
all right,
that would be helpful. Yes.
Oh yeah. So يا شباب دلوقتي إن شاء الله إحنا آخر 10 دقايق في البرودكاستنج ده. اللي عنده سؤال وعايز يسأل على حاجة يتفضل يسأل إن شاء الله، وأنا هترجم ونجاوب عليهم إن شاء الله. So the first question for you guys, tell us your background and how you got into the EFT industry.
Okay, so yeah, so my journey started about 14 years ago. I was suffering with a very debilitating autoimmune condition, and I had been looking for something to help me for 12 years, where I was really very sick. There were days that I couldn't get out of bed, and I tried everything holistically and allopathic, and nothing was helping me. And I sort of gave up, you know. I decided that I was done trying to find something. And so what happened was I gave up, and I said, in a moment of total despair, I said, God, if I am supposed to heal from this, you have to show me how, because I'm done trying to figure it out. And then the next week I found EFT.
Wow.
And I did the training with Craig. Yeah, I did the training with Craig. I got certified. I became a trainer, and it's changed every single area of my life. And then this guy showed up, and so I want to take it.
The exact same thing happened to me. No, it didn't.
No.
It wasn't at all. So I want to be respectful of any pausing that you want to translate, or should I keep going?
Yes, I will go to the first part to translate the first part. So انا سالتها ايه الباك جراوند بتاعتها ايه، وبعدين ايه اللي خلاها دخلت في الاي اف تي او الايموشنال فريدم تكنيك او مجال تقنيه الحريه النفسيه. فهي قالت ان هي من 14 سنه ولمده 12 سنه قبلها كانت تعبانه جدا، جربت كل حاجه تشتغل على نفسها بيها، جربت كل الدكاتره، جربت كل شيء، وفي الاخر برضو مفيش نتائج. المهم يأست تماما، ابتدت تسال ربنا سبحانه وتعالى طب تعمل ايه؟ هي كانت بتعاني من مرض ما ومش لاقيه حل، ابتدت تسال ربنا تعمل ايه. المهم اتعرفت على الاي اف تي او تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه، وبعد كده دخلت المجال وابتدت تتدرب على ايد كريج اللي هو الفاوندر، يعني اللي عمل الاي اف تي اصلا. ومن هنا ابتدت الحكايه، ومن هنا الدنيا فتحت معاه، وبتقول لي غيرت كل حاجه في حياتها. وعلى فكره اللي هي بتقوله ده حصل لكل حد اتعامل مع الايموشنال فريدم تكنيك او اتعامل مع تقنيه الحريه النفسيه وبر بيها. So guys, I add something to what you said, Alina. I said that her story, it's representing every or each one being in the EFT. We all go the same route like you. Face something, there is nothing to solve it, and suddenly the EFT show up. Here we are. Okay,
So I'll give you a different story.
Okay.
When I first heard about EFT, I was a total skeptic. Yeah, so I had, you know, so I want to acknowledge, I know Julie was just on the line, and Julie has done work with Dr. Mercola, and Dr. Joe Mercola has a huge following around the world as far as alternative medicine and health. And so back pain, you can use EFT for your anxiety, you can use EFT to help your relationship, and you can EFT for your peace of mind, and you can help EFT your toenail fungus. You know, it was just crazy. And I said, oh my pile of hooey. And I just basically ignored it for about a year or two. Maybe 2 years.
Sorry, Craig, you
doing locally
on, so I cannot hear you well.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to challenge myself to something I really don't know much about. And I said, that EFT thing, you know, I don't really know anybody in my community that knew anything about EFT. And I don't know, there was like one person at that time. We're getting a little bit of cutting in and out. So I don't know what you got or what you missed, but I'll let you take it from there. And if you need any help, let me know.
Okay, that's fair enough. It's fair game. So I will tell you something. I just try to hold on, breathe, tap. So maybe that energy will flow the right way to work on. Okay, so I would take it from there. هو عنده قصة تانية. هو كان أول ما ابتدى الإي إف تي كان شاكك جدا في الموضوع ومش مصدق، لغاية أما اتعرف على حد من أشهر أو أكبر الناس في مجال الإي إف تي أو تقنية الحرية النفسية، وبعدين ابتدى يخش معاه وابتدى بقى يشوف التغييرات اللي بتحصل على مدار الوقت باستخدام تقنية الإي إف تي. So that's great. Second question.
Okay.
So yeah, the second question we have is, what is the science behind EFT work? Like, how does EFT work? What's the science behind it?
That's a good question. So I think we're both going to answer this. When I learned EFT, I was ready. If somebody had told me, stand on your head for 3 hours, that's going to help you, I would have done it. And so I didn't care about the science. And for many years, that was a real weak point in the training that I did, because there just wasn't anything to substantiate the claims that I was making. I was saying anecdotally, these are my stories, these are my client stories, these are miracles that happen. And so I was very fortunate that I ended up marrying a science geek who loves diving into the brain science, the neurophysiology of what's happening. And so that's why I hand over the science piece to him, because now we really do have a nice body of work. And the biggest project that we've ever worked on is called the Science of Tapping documentary. And knocking on wood here that I'm praying that it's done in this year. It's been a 4-year project. And so Craig's been a lot of the brain behind it all and putting it all together. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'll pause for you there, Samy. Otherwise, that's going to be a lot to remember.
Yeah.
What she said really makes me speechless. Because it's really amazing. It's really amazing. I feel something in me, so I cannot explain it. Or so هي اول ما كلمت دلوقتي قالت ان هي اول ما ابتدت احنا سالناهم ايه العلم اللي ورا الاي اف تي، يعني ايه اللي خلى الاي اف تي علم، او الحقيقه العلميه اللي ورا الاي اف تي. فهي قالت ان هي اول ما ابتدت ولمده 3 سنين هي اصلا ما كانتش فارق معاها موضوع العلم ده، لان هي كانت تعبانه جدا لدرجه ان لو حد قال لها لو وقفتي على راسك اتشقلبتي على راسك لمده 3 ساعات هتخفي، فكانت عندها استعداد تعمل كده. فحتى بعد ما دخلت في مجال الاي اف تي وابتدت تتدرب وابتدت تبقى سيرتيفايد وعارفه، حتى ما كانتش مهتمه بايه العلم اللي ورا الموضوع. هي مؤمنه ان في ميراكلز بتحصل وفي معجزه بتحصل وفي استشفاء بيحصل والكلاينتس بتوعها والحالات بتاعتها بيخفوا وكل حاجه جميله، لغايه اما قابلت دكتور كريج اللي هو بقى ايه بتقول مسمياه ساينس جيك، يعني اللي هو ايه اللي هو الدماغ اللي هو بيموت في العلم زي حالاتي انا كده. انا بحب العلم يعني قوي برضه. ابتدت تتعرف على العلم او الحقيقه العلميه اللي ورا الاي اف تي. ودلوقتي نص الاجابه الثانيه هيكون مع دكتور كريج اللي هو هيقول لنا ده ساينتفك او العلم اللي موجود في الاي اف تي، او ايه الحقيقه العلميه اللي ورا تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه. It's your turn, dear Craig.
Science geek. Go ahead.
So let's see what we want to say. Number one, I love that we started off with what Alina's perspective was most people don't care what you call it and don't care what you do as long as it doesn't do harm and it helps. So that's the bottom line, right? And then for those of us that have this perpetual curiosity as to why it works and how it works, that's an unfolding process, right? We keep finding out more information. There's getting close to 50 randomized control studies. There's over 100 published papers. We've got 3 meta-analyses. Which is like the highest form of research. And we keep looking at, number one, its effectiveness for a wide variety of topics: anxiety, stress, phobias, depression, PTSD, and a lot more. But we keep trying to figure out what's doing it. So we get science. Like there's been early studies showing EFT to have a significant reduction in the stress hormone cortisol, right? So they've shown that in PTSD in veterans. Just in 2017, we've seen a breakthrough in research that's showing the technology. So we've had our first MRI studies that Dr. Peter Stapleton has done. We've had our first 2 epigenetic studies that show that EFT affects the genetic expression at different points. And so we're starting to see, it's a process. I mean, we've been around this almost 30 years, but it's not like we have big pharmaceutical companies that are backing it. So, you know, we put on events and we raise money, and it's, you know, by the bootstraps, but it's growing and growing in acceptance. We're seeing places like Kaiser Journal starting to show and state EFT to be effective for different conditions. We're seeing the VA starting to support us more, the Veterans Administration in the US here. We're seeing more and more evidence grow. And when you ask how it works, there's still a lot of questions. But I think an easy way to think about it is especially, it's almost as if when we're young, we hit that record button that the world is telling us, and the decisions we're making about who I am, whether I'm good enough, whether I'm smart enough, whether I'm pretty enough, whether I'm whatever, everything, we make these early decisions about who we are and what we can do in the world, based on our family, based on our culture, based on our experiences. And it's almost like that record button creates this tape that we live with the rest of our lives until we can record over that. And the problem is, most of the ways that we live our life, we don't record over that. And that recording just perpetuates in experiences that prove it to be true over and over.
Okay.
So what we're looking at with the science of memory reconsolidation, counter conditioning, and a lot of different steps that we're still inquiring into is basically the way to be able to rewire and rewrite those recordings that say, you know what? I wasn't really that wrong. It was just that person didn't understand it. And the decisions that I made can now start to be different, and I can start to experience the world differently.
Well, I
So-
hit pause.
Oh,
yeah,
Hakeem,
so I am. Yep.
Hakeem said that's too much long.
One of his Arabic friends said,
I know, she was actually tapping me behind to stop. I know, but I have to like get to the end of the paragraph.
You know,
So good luck with that, Samy.
I when I translate, mostly I try to make it like summary of all what you said without losing any important parts.
Great.
Okay, so like exactly when you try to translate from Arabic to English using Google, it's mess. Okay, so انا برضو السؤال بتاعه هو سالته على الجزء الخاص بايه الحقيقه العلميه اللي ورا الاي اف تي، فهو لما اتكلم قال انا يعني كويس ان احنا ابتدينا بالينا، لان البرسبكتيف بتاع الينا او الفكره بتاعت الينا كل الناس معظمهم بيفكروا بنفس الطريقه، اللي هم انا مش مهم ايه الحقيقه العلميه عندي، المهم ان هو بيشتغل وبيجيب نتيجه معايا ونجحني او شفاني او عمل المشكله. لكن الفكره بما ان هو رجل علمي وباحث ودكتور، فابتدى يعملوا عمل مئات الابحاث والسيرشز على الاي اف تي، وفعليا عملوا مئات الابحاث على الريزلتس، ولا زالت الابحاث دي شغاله وبيفكروا يطوروا فيها ازاي. طبعا في جزء منها بيتعمل عن طريق جهات اساسيه، وفي جزء حتى فاند ريزنج، يعني الناس هم بيعملوا الشغل عن طريق نفسهم بتكلفه عليهم، مئات الابحاث مئات السيرشز يعني، وبيحاولوا بقدر الامكان يتوصلوا فعليا واثباتات ان الاي اف تي ات وركس، وهم عندهم اوريدي مئات الابحاث والاف الرسائل وكل الكلام اللي بيقول ان ازاي اشتغلت وازاي ابتدت تتحرك الاي اف تي وايه الريزلتس اللي بتطلع منه. وهم شغالين في الجزء ده بيعملوا فيلم دوكيومنتري اسمه ساينس اوف تابينج، يعني ان شاء الله قريبا باذن الله هنعرض لكم فيلم ساينس ذا فيديو اور ذا دوكيومنتري of science of tapping translated into Arabic to the Mediterranean people, inshallah. No, I'm here with you guys. I'm here with you guys. So,
Yay!
Yeah, you know, I just have a little bit story I want to share with you. Like I had a client already in Egypt who had MS. So we worked together for about 3 years, plus the medication what she doing, and when I don't know how to say it, but after 3 years, they do CAT scan in the brain every 6 months. I had all of these CAT scans, the final one, the last one. It was amazing. It amazed the doctors who do the CAT scan because they find the MS spots start to fade. So
Fabulous.
even the doctors say how that's happened. And she is now with us on the broadcasting now, on the live.
Yay!
Yeah, her name is
Wow.
Mariam. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing. you can
Okay.
go on.
Okay, the next question is, and this is a big one because people sometimes say, well, it doesn't work for that or it won't work for this. So, but we know what it's good for, but so I want you to explain what is EFT good for? And you mentioned that a little bit already, the both of you, about stress and anxiety, but can you just touch a little bit further on what people use EFT for?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this, because you already answered this question, I would like you to tell us one of the most aha moment stories for one of your clients, for sure without pronouncing the name or mention the names, but the story which you even yourself surprised it's happened. You felt it's the miracle and the touch of God at this moment.
Yes, yes. So I want to thank you for your story, because I think that one of the biggest misconceptions when we're talking about what it works for and what it doesn't work for is that it is a 1-minute miracle. And we have those for sure. Those are the ones that are, you know, we just cry when they happen. But there are plenty of stories of persistence, of really sticking to it. 3 years. It didn't happen overnight. And so I want to tell everyone that if you feel that it's not working, keep going, being persistent, finding a good practitioner, and getting to all the related, you know, traumas and events and blocks that you have to resolve it. Really, just don't give up. One miracle story: a person that was in a wheelchair was scheduled for surgery, and was pain-free after an hour and a half and walking around. So
Wow.
that was amazing, because
Wow.
I was just thinking about your abuela story too, even though it's
yeah,
that's a good one. I love that.
yes, okay.
So there's just, you know, there's those
so many.
Yeah, there are so many, from the 1-minute miracles that are always amazing to people that have been suffering from haven't been able to fly in planes for years, to people that can't leave their homes because of the fear and the different reasons, to physical issues, to breast cancer, to, I think we do have to be very careful because EFT is not a medical intervention and we can never make promises or guarantees.
Exactly.
However, when you work with reducing the stress load in the body has a greater chance to heal. So that's what we're working with, is we're really working to reduce, you know, I just think about all the past events and stressors and stresses and traumas that people live through that they keep carrying. And literally, it's like they're walking around with these heavy, heavy loads trying to keep their knees and back healthy, right? And as they start to let go of the stresses from those, things heal. Pains heal. Conditions, you know, we look at the science that shows about 80% of doctors' visits are stress-related. And because stress shows up in every kind of physical condition and mental and emotional conditions, psychological conditions. So there's really, you know, I began with Craig saying, try it on everything. I thought that was silly at the beginning, and now I'm back to what Craig says is it's worth trying on anything.
Yeah.
And learned my lesson, and now I'll shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like exactly when I always say, I don't like about the physical or mental conditions. I care about the emotions beneath it. That's how it works. When you heal this, it's already affect everything else, like chain reaction. So I will translate now. Please give me a space. give me my space. So الجزء بتاعه هي احنا سألتهم دلوقتي ايه، يعني عايز نقولوا لنا قصة عن حد حسيتوا ان هي معجزة في العلاج بالاي اف تي. فالينا سألت ان كان في معاهم حالة، الحالة دي كانت ريدي ان هي كانت على ويل كرسي متحرك وكانت بتتحضر للعملية، وفي خلال ساعة ونص من الشغل بالاي اف تي الحالة دي قامت مشيت ومش حاسة بأي تعب او اي وجع. الجزء الخاص بكريج قال ان اولا احنا بس عايزين ناكد ان الاي اف تي هو مش ميديكال انفيرشن، مش علاج طبي، هو حاجه بتشتغل على المشاعر، جزء او شغل نفسي بيشتغل على المشاعر، والمشاعر هي اساس كل المشاكل اللي بتحصل لنا. فلما انت بتشيل المشاعر دي اللي متقلاك وعامله لك امراض وسايباك بمشاكل، كل حاجه بعد كده بتتحل. حكيت لهم انا على قصه. انا كان حاله معانا وهي على ما اعتقد موجوده معانا في اللايف، كان عندها MS مالتيبل سكلروزيس او تصلب متعدد، وما شاء الله عليها في خلال 3 سنين من العلاج، 3 سنين من الشغل بالEFT ربنا يعني تكاد تكون شفيت. مش هقول شفيت بالكامل لكن تكاد تكون شفيت. الجزء الثاني sorry Teresa, I know I translate into Arabic Teresa, so please hold on till I finish, please guys. So
yeah,
no, Teresa asking what?
A comment from American.
So anyway, وبعدين الجزء الثاني المهم برضو اللي بنتكلم عليه ان هو ممكن ان يبقى 1 minute miracle، ممكن تبقى معجزه الدقيقه الواحده، المشكله بتاعت الواحد تتحل في دقيقه واحده، وممكن تاخد وقت. فلما تحس ان هي طولت just keep going، يعني don't give up like how Alina said. ما تيأس. هو احتمال تبقى محتاج شغل اكتر، محتاج سيشنز اكتر، محتاج تتك على مشاعرك اكتر عشان تبتدي تكتشفها وتبدا تهيل المشاكل اللي عندك. اوه ثانك يو، يا شكرا يا حكيم، شكرا يا حكيم، شكرا. Okay, so we will move to the next question.
And the next,
you can add something.
Well, I was going to say, no,
I'm sorry.
you're very excited, very excited. No, and Alina, you touched on it just a minute ago, talking about what it's good for, and then when it doesn't work. And so it's a great segue into the next question. You know, why does EFT not work? You touched upon the 1 minute miracle. People do it for 60 seconds and say, oh, it doesn't work for me. I like to tell clients it's just like bathing. You can't do it just once, you know, once a week and expect it to clean. Right? So you need to keep at it. So explain to people why, like, what are the pitfalls, or when people say it doesn't work, why is that, please?
Right.
That's perfect, given what we were just working on this weekend.
Yes. So we've been working on a series helping people to understand the importance of being specific. Yeah. And so that is the #1 reason why people don't get the results that they want.
What does that mean?
So the vast majority of tapping videos, the vast majority of tapping scripts or prompts, they cannot, by their nature, be specific to your personal history. There was absolutely no YouTube video that had me tapping on, even though my baby died when I was 9 months pregnant, and the grief and the loss and the sorrow of that caused my autoimmune condition. There is no video out there that will tell you that.
Yes.
And I feel lucky that when I found EFT, there was only one source out there, and it was the founder, and it was the manual. And I really understood events is what really causes those emotional disturbances that then lead to physical things. And so we are really on a mission to really educate people on the importance of finding events. So that's one thing, and I'll let you translate.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Very.
Yeah.
So the question was, why is it not work?
السؤال هنا كان ليه الEFT؟ يعني في بعض الناس بتقول انا جربت الEFT وما اشتغلش، جربت الEFT وما جابش نتائج، جربت الEFT وما جابش ريزلتس. ف اجابه ألينا في الجزء ده بتقول دلوقتي ان هي شغاله على سيريز او شغالين على سلسله فيديوهات بتوضح ايه العوامل اللي بتخلي الEFT ما يشتغلش وازاي نتجنبها. من ضمن وهي بتقول ان اهم حاجه ان انت تكون محدد في الايفنت، يعني ما تبقاش جنرال. لما انت تبقى تلاقي التروما، تلاقي الصدمه، تلاقي الحته فعليا النقطه اللي انت اتسببت في حدوث هذه المشاكل النفسيه او الجسديه عندك. يعني على سبيل المثال، حتى المثال اللي قالته ان واحده ست كانت ان الست وهي بتتاب، ان هي مثلا كانت بتقول ان هي على الرغم من ان هي فقدت جنينها وهو 9 شهور، وده سبب ضرر للجهاز المناعي عندها. يعني هي بالظبط بتذكر الحدث وبتذكر كمان سبب ايه، فده بيتيح فرصه للعقل ان هو يتجاوب والستريس يبدا ينزل، فبتبتدي تجيب النتائج اكيوريت وواضحه. الحاجه الثانيه، يعني هي بتقول بتشكر جدا او هي فرحانه جدا او سعيده ان في الوقت اللي هي كانت ابتدت فيه الاي اف تي، اشتغلت مع الفاوندر اللي هو جاري كريج، يعني فتعلمت صح، فهمت. فالقصه برضو هنا بتاخدنا. So I need to add something for what you said, because it was a little bit hidden when you said you are so happy or you pleased that you trained by Gary Craig, the founder. That's mean sometimes the trainers doesn't teach the EFT the right way to push or to let the guys go direct, or how to stimulate the person to say the event and found it. So it's, there is 50-50%. The person cannot find it, and the trainer cannot go there, or the healer or the coach cannot take him to this point. That's what you meant.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel that that's the importance of training with a skilled trainer and going through certification and mentoring, where you have a mentor supervisor reviewing your work to become a skillful practitioner to help you find those events. Absolutely.
So
some people read a book. Some people have seen something online.
That's what I want to know.
And it's a wonderful way to find out about EFT.
Yeah.
You know, the documentaries and the books and the events online are fabulous places to be introduced to EFT, but not the place to thoroughly learn them. I want to just pause because I know Alina has to step away.
I do. I'm really sorry. I have a meeting that I could not cancel, but I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity to reach your audience. And we see people commenting. They're loving the translation. So thank you. And I leave you in his capable hands.
Yeah, thank you.
We will have you again. Yeah. We will have you again soon. No worries. We will have you again for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So, do you want me to give Jennifer out to be me and you only?
It's up to you.
No, I cannot. I cannot.
Terrible.
She will kick me out.
I'll leave that up to you.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure whatever you wanted to say to that, or just to continue. So I'll flow with you.
So you want to translate?
Yeah, I will translate. So جزء نكمل بقية الترجمة، الحتة اللي هي اتكلمت أنا فيها دلوقتي لما كنا بنتكلم على ليه ال EFT ما بيشتغلش. فجزء من الشغل ده أو جزء من السبب إن البراكتيشنر نفسه أو first we need to thank Alina for her time. It was really a pleasure to have her with us, and for sure, I believe in that. We will have her again one day.
Good.
Soon.
Good.
Because you know,
Good.
people are so excited to hear, to listen to you, to learn, and that is amazing. Thank you for giving this opportunity to us. فنرجع تاني. I will translate again. فطبعا انا شكرت ألينا ان هي عندها اجتماع فمضطره تمشي. وقلت اكيد ان احنا هنقابلها تاني وهتيجي معانا تاني هي وكريج ان شاء الله. الجزء المهم في ليه الاف تي ما بيشتغلش ان في بعض البراكتيشنرز مش مدربين، او حتى المعالجين نفسهم ممكن ما يكونش عارف ياخد الحاله بتاعته للجزء ان هي تبقى سبيسيفيك وان هي تبقى محدده وواضحه. هو كريج قال ان في بعض الاحيان ممكن الناس بتتفرج على فيديو وتتعلم منه الاي اف تي، في بعض الاحيان الناس تقرا كتاب وتتعلم منه الاي اف تي، بس ده مش كافي ان انت تعالج بيه، ده مش كافي ان انت ممكن تشتغل بيه على نفسك نوعا ما، لكن مش هو ده اللي هيبقى التول القويه اللي تخليك وتاهلك قادر تشتغل مع حد تاني. Okay.
Okay. Good.
What do you want to say?
So that's an excellent segue, because the next question is when to hire a professional. And she just mentioned, and you just mentioned, there's only so much you can do from reading out of a book or watching a movie. And those, we agree wholeheartedly, those are awesome resources.
Mm-hmm. But
to fine tune it and be specific, which I think just answers the question, is when a good time to hire a professional to work with you. Is that what you would agree with?
Well, I would say it's both. I think it's very important that we realize that one of the great powers of EFT is as being an amazing self-help technique.
For sure.
And so I do not want to diminish that. Alina basically had an amazing personal healing on her own. So, and many people do. So I absolutely have to acknowledge that.
For sure.
And I have to acknowledge that being specific within one's own self-tapping is critically important, because our beliefs about who we are in the world and how the habits we have and the decisions we make are based on specific past experiences.
Exactly.
So, as she said, we were just writing up an infographic on the 7 reasons why being specific is so very important, given the science that continues to emerge. So first, I'll just pause and say, and so you can translate, is I absolutely want it to be known that EFT is an amazing self-help technique, and then I'll go over considerations when it might not be.
Perfect.
اوكي سو هنا الدكتور كريج بيتكلم على الجزء الخاص برضه ليه الاي اف تي ما بيشتغلش وامتى نحتاج نشتغل مع بروفيشنال. هو الاي اف تي او تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه هي وسيله علاج ذاتي قويه جدا، يعني من اقوى وسائل العلاج الذاتي اللي انت ممكن انت نفسك تتعلمها وتشتغل بيها على نفسك. فهو بيؤكد هذه النقطه، واحنا معاه بنأكد هذه النقطه ان هي قويه جدا في العلاج الذاتي، ان انت ممكن تشتغل على نفسك، تتعلمها، تعرف نقط التابنج وتبدا تشتغل عليها. لكن انا هضيف دلوقتي معاه وهتناقش معاه في الحته دي ان في بعض الاحداث اللي انت حتى نفسك حتى لو انت بروفيشنال ما تقدرش تشتغل عليها، لان بيبقى السب كونشس عامل استراتيجيز ومحتاج تو جايد، يعني محتاج حد يقود معاك ويتحرك معاك. So Craig, I add something for what you said. I believe it's an amazing self-help tool, but sometimes your subconscious create a huge, strong, tough strategies, which even if you are so professional, you will not be able to go through it yourself. I had this myself, by the way. I had it, and I was skeptical. Even I'm a trainer. I am life coach with the EFT. I felt at this moment doubt it will help me, but it's happened within exactly 5 minutes. It was trauma for 1.5 years, which I didn't talk to anyone about it, and within 5 minutes I exploded, cry, tell the story from A to Z. So even me myself, I wasn't able to work on myself. So, but I agree with you. I believe in that 100%. It's 100% self-help, amazing tool.
Yeah. And let's go beyond that. A dentist has tools that they can do to take care of their teeth, right? They can brush and floss and do more than I even can say to know how to do, but they're not going to put a filling in themselves. I'm a chiropractor. I know how to take good care of my spine, but I'm not going to do my own adjustments on myself.
Yeah.
So there's a level that we can use and should use EFT on our own. And then there's a level outside of which we shouldn't for different reasons. Number one is, just as you said, Samy, is that which we don't see.
Yeah.
That which we're blind to, that which we've held aside for so long that we can't even see it and make that connection. So that part I just want to agree totally with. And I also want to add, when we're dealing with trauma, as you began to say as well, is also the time when we should be working with somebody else. Because when we start visiting and exploring and remembering significantly traumatic events, we're not as able to regulate and find that balanced place in ourselves, and we can break down and flood and actually do harm to ourselves.
Exactly.
By re-ingraining that trauma, and another person can therapeutically witness and stay grounded and see what this person can't see. It's like they're their lifeguard. Or I use the analogy is when I'm working with a client, I'm their seeing eye dog. They tell me where they want to go, and I make sure that they cross the street safely.
Exactly.
So I enable them to be able to get where they want to go, and I'm their assistance, but they're still walking, they're still getting there. And so maybe if some of those analogies help a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you want to translate?
I will try.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I will try.
Thank you.
I will do my best, guys. I will do my best. So the point is احنا هنا بنتكلم برضه بيكمل تاني. انا قلت له ان ايوه احنا مؤمنين تماما بموضوع ان تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه هي وسيله علاج ذاتي قويه جدا، بس في نفس الوقت في بعض الحاجات، على سبيل المثال لما بتعدي بايفنت او صدمه قويه، انت العقل الباطن بتاعك بيبدا يطور وسائل دفاعيه قويه جدا انت ممكن ما تعرفش تروح ليها لوحدك، فبتحتاج. فهو قال لي اكيد ايوه انا برضو مؤمن بالكلام ده تماما. يعني على سبيل المثال بالذات لما انت بتبقى في حاله صدمه، لما بتفتكر الحالات الصدمه دي ما بتبقاش انت، ما بتقدرش تتحكم في افكارك، ما بتقدرش تتحكم، فبتبقى وظيفه المعالج في الوقت ده ان هو عامل زي الحارس بيوجهك. يعني انت عايز تروح الشارع يعني انت عايز تعدي الناحيه الثانيه، هو شايف ان هو عايز يعدي الناحيه الثانيه من الشارع، هو كل اللي بيعمله بياخده يوديه. يعني مثلا قال برضو الفكره بتاعت ان انت بتشتغل على نفسك، يعني مثلا انت اسنانك وجعك بتعمل فلاسنج، بتغسلها بالمعجون، لكن مش هتحط حشو. الحشو ده بقى اللي بيحط الدكتور البروفيشنال. فهي نفس القصه. You know, I'm so excited.
It shows, Samy. I love that.
Yeah, no, because already my brain now is very hyper because I jump from English to Arabic, from Arabic to English. Da. Oh yeah.
Understood.
What's that?
I'll let you do that part. I'll just stay in one language.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
simpler.
Happy for you.
No, this is great. This is super great. And the next question is, can you tell us or talk about just a little bit about the different models of EFT?
That's a good question. And a lot of ways to approach that. So on one hand, I want to say there's EFT, but EFT also, I want to say, is the emotional freedom techniques. Okay, it's not technique, it's techniques. So within classic EFT, as Craig created it, which we have to also remember that he stands on the shoulders of other people. He stands on the shoulders of Roger Callahan and Dr. Diamond and right? So when we look at the things that EFT is, it draws from many different people before him. Okay, so let's acknowledge that. That's very important. And tapping and stimulation on meridian acupoints goes back thousands of years. So first, let's just look at EFT along the continuum of many different people and modalities and healing techniques. So that's one. Second, I just want to say, and then I'll pause, is emotional freedom techniques is often seen online, on summits, on different things, as its most elemental basic form of EFT. Many people just refer to it as basic EFT or shortcut method EFT, etc., which is, you know, even though I have this anger about when my dad spanked me, right? Or whatever that was. And so, you know, and we have the basic EFT, right? Now, there are many more techniques that you learn when you study EFT about how to work gently, how to work with the body, how to work with trauma techniques, how to work with ways in which people can't remember certain things, ways to work with and techniques that work with a lot of different ways of verbalizing and wording, still using those points. So without even going outside of variations of EFT, there are many different techniques and approaches within EFT. So I just want to start with that because most people don't know that.
Okay. Yeah, very true, very true.
So السؤال كان هنا بيقول ممكن تكلمنا شوية عن التكنيكس او الموديلات المختلفة للاي اف تي او الاشكال المختلفة للاي اف تي، لان زي ما احنا عارفين الاي اف تي ليه كذا طريقة، اللي هي مثلا زي البيزك ريسبي لجاري كريج اللي هي الكلاسيك ريسبي او البيزك ريسبي الاي اف تي الاساسية. الحاجة الثانية اللي هي زي الحاجه الثانيه اللي هي زي الماتريكس ريمبرينتنج اللي هي زي الفاستر اي اف تي، الحاجات المختلفه الموداليتيز دول. بس الجزء الاساسي اللي هو عاوز يقول I know الجزء الاساسي I just mentioned no I didn't mean it, I swear. I didn't mean it, I swear.
You were not translating exactly there.
That's what I said. I just tried to mention the different modalities. Matrix Reimprinting is different model. So الفكره هنا ان هو قال ان هو الفكره الاساسيه مش عايز يتكلم على ان هي just one technique. مش تقنيه واحده، هي تقنيات. لان في اي اف تي بيشتغل على الصدمات التروماز، وفي اي اف تي بيشتغل على الفوبيات، وفي اي اف تي بيشتغل على المشاكل الشخصيه او الجسديه. يعني الفكره ان هو اللي عاوز يقوله ان مش it's not just only one technique, it's techniques. يعني هي مش طريقه واحده، هي طرق، وكل الطرق تؤدي الى روما في النهايه اللي هي العلاج الذاتي او السيلف هيلينج، وان انت تستشفي بالاي اف تي. اوكي I'm done with that.
Okay, now to go beyond that a little bit.
Okay.
Is what I would then say is many different people. Hold on, I'm just watching comments as well.
There is a lot of comments, by the way.
Good. Yeah, I love it. So number one, just a shout out to everybody, and Chris and Julie and Nina and everybody. Just thank you for joining us today. Great way to start the new year. You know, right out the door, I'm looking out at the mountains and the water and just feeling so blessed to even be having this discussion, knowing that this is reaching Egypt and around the world and people can participate and use this as the first day to just create an amazing year. So I'm just feeling grateful. What I wanted to say is many people that come to EFT have a wide background. Psychologists and psychotherapists and kinesiologists and hypnotherapists and acupuncture, you know, so many. And so often that will influence or they will integrate those with EFT. Mm-hmm. The one thing I would say is that doesn't make EFT their curry, their mother's soup. In other words, they make it their variation, but I want to be clear that EFT is EFT, and then people add things to that. That's not right or wrong. The problem I have is when people mix things in and then say this new recipe is EFT.
Right. Fair enough.
Okay, so that, right? So just clearly, if you're going to do something else, name it something else, or say I do something else and I do EFT. I have no problem with that at all. Okay. The problem is when people confuse it so that when somebody gets EFT from a practitioner and it has everything to do with this and this and this and that, and they think that's EFT, and if it doesn't work, then they blame EFT for not working. So, you know, there are variations like you mentioned, Matrix Reimprinting EFT, and I love Matrix Reimprinting EFT, and it's a variation. It uses EFT, but it also has other aspects to that. So I guess I'm pretty strict as it's taught at AAMET, at EFT Universe, that these are the largest world organizations, and ACEP, ASEP, that these are the major teaching organizations for professionals that teach the solid foundation of EFT. And that's why I recommend that when you find somebody to work with, that they are certified through one of these major organizations, because they're going to be very clear on the EFT techniques. And yes, I expect that through the years, people will continue to evolve it and add things to it and morph it, and that's fine. Just be clear to not say that this is that.
Exactly.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So الجزء هنا بيتكلم فيه عن ان الاي اف تي هو اي اف تي، تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه هي تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه. طبعا لان في ناس كتيره جدا من مختلف الباك جراوندز او من مختلف التخصصات دخلت في المجال واتعلمته وبقت سيرتيفايد فيه وبقت معاها شهادات فيه او ان هي بقت بتشتغل بيه. ده ما يعنيش ان هي بتخترع طريقه جديده للاي اف تي، هي بتضيف جزء من النولج بتاعتها لتقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه، وده ما يخليهاش حاجه جديده، هو اي اف تي، لكن الفكره ان هو بيضيف الفكر بتاعه او الباك جراوند بتاعته، فهو ما عندوش مشكله في الكلام ده. المشكله كلها لما انت تعمل ميكس وتدخل حاجات في بعضها وتقول ان دي تقنيه جديده او ده اي اف تي جديد. لا، هي اي اف تي. عايز تعمل حاجه جديده اعملها، بس ابعد عن ان انت تستخدم الاي اف تي بذاته وتضيف عليه حاجه وتقول دي حاجه جديده. I'm done. Thank you.
So funny. Okay.
I try to be online now, you know.
Yeah,
I do.
Okay, so that's the list of questions we have.
I will say it.
And if you have some more.
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you want to take some questions from some comments?
Till now, no one. Till what do you think about network?
Yeah, I saw Nina's question, and I'm going to say, Nina, go ahead and private message me. I just don't think that discussing different chiropractic methods is appropriate for this particular venue, but I'm happy to answer that just contact me outside of the interview.
You are free. You can tell anything you want. It's okay. We are together now.
That's fine. Okay. Yes, Myret. Thank you. Okay. So we can take questions from the audience. I mean, anything from about the development of EFT, the growth of EFT, the use of EFT. Another time we could do a focus on Matrix Reimprinting EFT, and that could be its whole other interview. But really, I'm an open book, so either you have another question or anybody from the audience does, and I'm happy to.
Yeah.
You know, it's an exciting time that we're in. We're seeing the research grow. I'm seeing every day the movement, for example, of using EFT in school systems is just on fire right now. I believe the recent Nick Ortner video about tapping in a classroom reached 15 million people, that short video. Peter Stapleton is working tapping in the classroom. So I think the next we've been seeing a lot of movement of EFT into the world of PTSD and post-traumatic stress disorder being accepted by a wide variety of institutions growing. And I think that work bringing it into the classroom is the next big wave that we're going to see a lot of in 2018. So I'm happy to answer questions of trends or things that I see, but
I just want to make a comment about the children in schools.
Yeah,
about a year and a half ago, when Samy and I were living on Maui, we did a one-day health fair for 500 grade school children, and it was every 10 minutes.
Maui Elementary School.
Yeah, and then elementary school on Maui, and every 10 minutes or so, kids would come in groups, and there were different stations set up, and it was fun. We showed a fun video, and then we tapped along with the students and taught them to that. Weeks had passed, and we're in the grocery store, and one of the children came up to us and said, "Hey,
no,
hey!"
He was to mom. He to his mom. Hey, the tapping guy's there. The tapping guy's there.
So children, I just want to make as a side note, children respond so much quicker and so much. There's less layers, of course, and less life experience, a little bit less programming, and less memory of that when you catch the kids when they're young and they're small. So that's a huge focus in what's coming.
So now I need to translate what he said and what you said.
Okay.
That's too much for me.
Okay.
Anyway, so هو اتكلم على ان هو شايف دلوقتي الاي اف تي بينتشر بصوره كبيره جدا. شايف ان الاي اف تي بيتحرك او تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه بتتحرك على مستوى العالم بصوره جميله. ان حتى وقال ان في اماكن زي الام اي تي والاسب، الاثنين دول اماكن معتمده لمنح الشهادات والتدريب على الاي اف تي، ودول اكتر مكانين على مستوى العالم معتمدين. المؤسسه بتاعت الاي ام سوري I get lost. اوكي سو ان هي موجوده في مصر حاليا تدريبات و no I just have a lot of things in my mind. So anyway، وان السبيريت جامد وبينتشر بصوره قويه جدا، حتى ان الجزء اللي هو بتاع البي تي اس دي اللي هو كان بيقابل مشكله كتيره في المدارس، ابتدى فعليا ان هم يطبقوا، واتقبل من جهات كتيره جدا في العلاج النفسي ان هو يطبق عليهم الاي اف تي او تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه في المدارس عشان يتم علاج البي تي اس دي. وبعدين احنا حتى قلنا له في يعني تجربتنا احنا واحنا في هاواي عملنا تدريب ل 500 طالب في مدرسه، ولمده قعدنا ندرب الاولاد دول على الاي اف تي وتقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه واستخدامها عشان نقلل مشاكل العنف جواهم. فلدرجه واحنا ماشيين في مره في السوبر ماركت انا وجينيفر، ففي طفل ماشي مع مامته فلقيناه بيتنطط كده بيقول الحق الناس بتاعت الاي اف تي هم، الناس بتاعت الاي اف تي هم. فالاطفال عندهم استجابه عاليه جدا. انتوا كمان حاولوا تتعلموا ازاي تتعلموا التقنيه دي لاولادكم عشان تسبورت او تنهانس حياتهم يعني. فاحنا دلوقتي كريج جاهز لو في اي حد عايز يسال عن اي حاجه. I just mentioned that we are okay to take some questions if anyone want to ask about something. I'm not sure yet, but we can waiting. Thanks for such a great interview. I have question. Okay, this is Ala, my friend. So does EFT just work? You can read the stuff.
Yeah, I can read the question, and it's a great question. Okay, so the answer is that yes, there is research showing that while most of the studies have been working on emotional and psychological issues, we have studies that have shown physical conditions from frozen shoulder to chronic pain to, I've seen so much with back pain. So let me answer it this way. Beside the research and just my clinical experience in working with patients, here personal story. So
Okay.
just abbreviated. So I'm a chiropractor. I deal with pain patients every single day in practice. And people will come to me with x-rays or MRIs or scans and doctors' diagnoses and say, look, right, there it is. There's my problem. And then I'll ask them, is the pain there some days and not other days? And they'll say, yes, sometimes it's worse. And I'm going to say, but the problem was there on that day that you didn't feel it. How is that? I don't know, right? Because they don't. So what I would say is people forget that pain, for example, is one physical condition. Pain is experienced up here. Our brain is what interprets and experiences pain, and that is affected by our stress levels. They're affected by our emotional and psychological states of worry and fear that the pain won't go away, worry they can't lift their child, stress because they won't be able to work. So all of those emotional states affect their brain's interpretation of the pain. And so therefore, when we reduce the stress loads, when we reduce the worry, the fear, the anxiety, all of those emotional states, then the body has a chance to be able to genetically and epigenetically create different hormones, different proteins that affect healing. So the answer is absolutely yes. You know, we can look to studies, but I can also say clinically, it is absolutely worth trying EFT for physical conditions, like you mentioned MS with your client. You know, we've mentioned several during the interview, but yes, absolutely. It's absolutely worth trying. And I would say that whenever somebody has a physical condition, of course, appropriately get medical diagnostic workup, because you don't know if a back pain is a kidney infection, if a back pain is a tumor, if a back pain can be so many things. So EFT should be in conjunction with appropriate medical, whatever that is, naturopathic, medical, chiropractic, but somebody that's licensed to treat physical conditions and work in tandem and partnership with that.
Okay, great. So السؤال كان هنا بتاع آلاء. طبعا آلاء انت مش محتاجه ترجمه، انا عارف انت اصلا مترجمه، بس انا هترجم للناس اللي معانا الاودينس. هي سؤالها كان بتقول اللي هو تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه بتشتغل بس على المشاعر ولا ممكن تشتغل على الاعراض الجسديه؟ ف كريج قال ان اكيد هو بيشتغل على المشاعر طبعا، واكيد برضه ان هو بيشتغل على الالام الجسديه او الاشياء الالم الحسي الجسدي الفيزيكال. فالجزء الثاني انه السبب الرئيسي لان الالم في العقل وبيتاثر بالضغوط والمشاعر، وده بيخلي المخ يشتغل بطريقه معينه عشان نحس بالالم. فهو اللي بيعمله ان احنا بنقلل الضغوط وبنقلل الاسترس شويه، وده بيدي مساحه للمخ انه يغير الديفنس او وسيله الدفاع بتاعته، ويبدا يطلع هرمونات تانية، بيبدا يطلع انزيمات تانية، بيبدا يطلع شويه حاجات تساعد على العلاج. بس الفكره ان انت برضو طالما في فيزيكال بين يبقى لازم، او طالما في الام جسديه يبقى لازم تستعين بحد لايسند، يعني حد مصرح له، دكتور ميديكال طبي، وفي نفس الوقت اشتغل بالاي اف تي. الاثنين ما بيتعارضوش مع بعض، الاثنين بيكملوا بعض. هو هنا بيقول الابحاث بتقول ان هو بيعالج الالام الجسديه، والتطبيقات اللي هو عملها شخصيا والشغل بتاعه على مدار 30 سنه بيقول ان برضه بيعالج الالام الجسديه. بس ده ما يمنعش ان انت تستعين بالطب، والاثنين يكملوا بعض ويشتغلوا مع بعض. اوكي، ثانك يو.
So yeah, so we're getting close to the end of the hour, and we agreed to do about an hour's work. So yeah, so if you have something
related to our call before the first call, that we will already put in the plan doing something in the Middle East. Yeah. Okay, because as you understand and you know, the people in need for that, and especially they need it from and trusted worthy source.
A trustworthy source.
Yeah, exactly. So we will keep discuss that, and we'll not let you go. No worries. The second thing, for sure, I know your schedule is very, very, very full, and I understand how much precious you give us some of your time. Thank you for that. But for sure, again, we would like to have you to talk about the Matrix Reimprinting and how it works and everything about it. Still, we take you live there to the Middle East and Egypt.
We'll look at 2019. We've been in we'll be traveling to the UK next month.
Okay.
And Australia we've taught in, and we teach across the United States and Canada. We were in Hawaii a few months ago, or a few years ago, which was wonderful.
And you will be in Wisconsin.
Anyway,
yeah.
And we'll be in Wisconsin and Chicago and Florida. Yeah, so we travel mostly around the United States and somewhat internationally. I think that'll be more. If people want to find out, you know, we have so many articles and so many things, but if they want to get regular information on a monthly basis or watch interviews or read things, if you go to EFTtappingtraining.com, there's lots. And in fact, almost all of the current EFT research is there with notes about the different studies there. So that's a good resource. And I just really appreciate you taking the time to do this and to reach out to other points in the world that we might not reach and people that are wanting to hear more about this. And it was a pleasure to meeting and connecting with you today. A great way to start the new year.
Wow.
And you know what, with the new year, I just want to say, if one of the resolutions or one of the things that you do this year is to begin more tapping, and that would be an amazing transformative choice to just begin the year with finding a person or a way to begin to learn to use EFT more in your life. Boy, this year will just be amazing for you. So I just want to offer that as a great start.
Yeah, awesome.
Great advice. Great advice.
No.
So انا قلت له دلوقتي احنا سعداء جدا ان احنا اخدناه. انا عارف ان هو مشغول جدا ووقته مشغول جدا جدا جدا. بس في نفس الوقت سعداء ان احنا يعني ادانا من وقته الساعه دي للناس ولينا نتكلم مع بعض ونتناقش على تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه او تقنيات العلاج بالحريه النفسيه وقوتها وشغلها. بس قلت له طبعا ان احنا زي ما احنا كنا بنتكلم في محادثاتنا الخاصه ان احنا ان شاء الله بنرتب وهنرتب حاجه قريب باذن الله في مصر والشرق الاوسط ونجيبه معانا هناك باذن الله بحيث ان احنا نشتغل لايف مع الناس في مصر او في الشرق الاوسط. والحاجه الثانيه ان احنا ان شاء الله برضو هنستضيفه في اللايف بتاعنا قريب عشان يتكلم على تقنيه ثانيه من تقنيات الاي اف تي سبيشالي اللي هي تقنيه الماتريكس ريمبرينتنج. فهو بيقول لنا طبعا هو سعيد ان هو موجود معانا وسعيد ان هي بدايه او يوم في بدايه السنه الجديده. وبيقول لو احنا هناخد قرار في السنه الجديده من افضل القرارات اللي هناخدها في السنه الجديده ان احنا نبدا نتاب او نعمل عمليه او نمارس الاي اف تي اكتر او نمارس العلاج بالحريه تقنيه العلاج بالحريه النفسيه اكتر. وبعدين في مصادر كتير للاي اف تي او للمعلومات عنه اللي عايز ان شاء الله هو يقدر يبقى يعني نشتغل مع بعض وانا هبقى هجيبها لكم وباذن الله يكون سنه جديده كويسه ونبدا اكتر نشتغل مع الاي اف تي. Okay.
So yeah, so we're going to teach you how to say goodbye in Arabic. So
please.
Right? So
yeah.
you can say
you
it.
can say it.
Well, so I say salam alaikum.
Yes, this one.
So it's salam
alaikum.
Yeah.
That's it means peace upon you.
It means peace upon you in Arabic. And again, we thank you so much to you and Alina, both of you, for sharing your time. It is the biggest gift of the year. And thank you so much. And until we meet again, namaste. And
namaste.
Everyone keep tapping.
And we will keep in touch to arrange what we talked about. Yeah.
Yes, we will. I promise.
All right.
Thank you, everybody who joined us today.
Send our regards to Alina and see you soon, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.